Have you ever felt attacked, wronged, or surrounded by problems that seem impossible to overcome? The Bible gives us a powerful promise: no weapon formed against you shall prosper, Isaiah 54 verse 17. But what does this really mean for your life? Today, we're going to dive deep into this divine truth and discover how trusting God's plan can shield you from any attack of the enemy. In this video, you will understand how this promise applies to your reality, how God protects you from the enemy's schemes, and what you need to do to stand firm in the midst of battles. If you're facing struggles, challenges, or even doubts, this message will be a turning point in your faith. Stay with me until the end because, beyond strengthening your trust in God, I'll share biblical strategies to help you overcome any opposition and live under divine protection. Get ready to feel your faith renewed. God is your light and salvation. Psalm 27 reminds us that the Lord is our light and salvation, meaning we have no reason to fear. Darkness may surround us, but God's presence is like a guiding light, leading us safely through life's uncertainties. When challenges arise, we can trust that He will illuminate our path and provide clarity where there is confusion. Life is full of trials, and at times, we may feel overwhelmed by difficulties. However, when we put our faith in God, we can be confident that He is our refuge. He shields us from harm, offering protection that goes beyond human understanding. No matter what obstacles come our way, God stands as our stronghold. Trusting in God means surrendering our fears and anxieties to Him. The world may be filled with troubles, but those who place their confidence in the Lord will always find peace. He is not only a protector but also a source of strength in moments of weakness. Victory over enemies. One of the greatest assurances we have as believers is that God fights for us. The Bible teaches that when we trust in Him, He lifts us above our enemies. Even when people plot against us, their plans will not succeed because God is our defender. Enemies can come in many forms, whether through people, negative thoughts, or spiritual battles, but none of these forces can overpower God's will for our lives. He is sovereign over all things, and His protection ensures that we remain victorious. Psalm 27 verse 6 declares that God will raise us above those who seek to harm us, placing us in a position of victory. This means we do not have to live in fear of what others might do. Instead, we can walk in confidence, knowing that God's power is greater than any opposition. When we trust in God, we do not have to seek revenge or fight battles on our own. He is our ultimate defender, ensuring that justice prevails. Our role is to remain faithful and allow Him to work in His perfect timing. Faith in God does not mean we will never face difficulties, but it guarantees that we will never face them alone. He goes before us, making a way where there seems to be none, and ensuring that no weapon formed against us will prosper. The key to overcoming challenges is maintaining a strong relationship with God. Through prayer, worship, and trust in His promises, we can stand firm, knowing that He is always with us. No matter what you are facing today, remember that God is your light, your salvation, and your victory. There is no reason to fear when He is on your side. Stay steadfast in faith, and watch how He leads you to triumph. The power of seeking God's presence. One of the greatest gifts we have as believers is the ability to dwell in the presence of God. His presence is not limited to a church building or a specific time of the day. It is a continuous invitation to walk closely with Him, experiencing His peace and guidance in every moment of our lives. When we prioritize spending time with God through prayer, worship, and meditation on His Word, we align our hearts with His will. The more we seek Him, the more we recognize His voice, allowing Him to lead us on the right path. His presence becomes our source of strength, equipping us to face any challenge that comes our way. The world is filled with distractions and worries that can pull us away from God. However, when we make it a habit to dwell in His presence daily, we develop a deeper sense of peace that surpasses all understanding. No matter what circumstances arise, we can rest in the assurance that God is with us, surrounding us with His love and protection. God's perfect timing for deliverance. Life is full of challenges, and sometimes we find ourselves in situations where we feel stuck, discouraged, or uncertain about the future. In those moments, we must remember that God's timing is always perfect. Even when we cannot see a way out, He is working behind the scenes to bring deliverance at just the right moment. The Bible is filled with stories of God's faithfulness in delivering His people. From the Israelites crossing the Red Sea to Daniel in the lion's den, we see that God never fails to rescue those who trust in Him. Though the wait may seem long, we can be confident that He will act at the appointed time. God's delays are not denials. Sometimes, He allows us to go through trials to strengthen our faith and refine our character. Instead of growing impatient or discouraged, we should trust that His plans are greater than our own. When the time is right, He will lift us up and lead us into victory. Faith over fear. Fear is one of the greatest weapons the enemy uses against believers. It can paralyze us, making us doubt God's promises and question His presence in our lives. However, Psalm 27 reminds us to place our faith above our fears, knowing that God is our refuge and stronghold. When we focus on God rather than our circumstances, fear loses its power over us. David, the writer of Psalm 27, declared that he would not be afraid, even if an army surrounded him. His confidence was not in his own strength but in the unwavering presence of God. Faith is not the absence of fear but the decision to trust God despite it. When we choose faith over fear, we allow God to work in our lives in ways we never imagined. He goes before us, fights our battles, and secures our future, ensuring that His plans for us come to fruition. No matter what obstacles we face, we can stand firm in the knowledge that God is with us. He is our light, our salvation, and our protector. As we seek Him daily, trust in His perfect timing, and walk in faith, we will experience the fullness of His presence and the victory He has already secured for us. Embracing the power of God's presence. In a world filled with uncertainty, one thing remains unshakable: God's presence in our lives. When we seek Him wholeheartedly, we experience His peace, His strength, and His divine direction. He is not a distant God but a loving Father who desires to walk with us every step of the way. No matter the challenges we face, we can trust in His perfect timing. Though the road may seem long and difficult, He is always working behind the scenes, preparing breakthroughs we cannot yet see. His deliverance will come at the right moment, lifting us higher than we ever imagined. Above all, we must choose faith over fear. Fear may whisper doubts, but God's word declares victory. When we stand firm in His promises, we step into the life of courage, purpose, and blessings that He has prepared for us. So, let us dwell in His presence daily, trust in His unfailing timing, and walk in unshakable faith. Because when we put God first, everything changes: our hearts, our circumstances, and our destiny. If this message has blessed you, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you never miss a new video. Also, share this with your friends and family. It could be exactly what they need to hear today. Let's spread God's word together.